watching CSI Today. Today, with 5-time Emmy-winning news anchors Renee Flores and Kevin Madrigal, your investigative reporter Alondra Viltanius.
Welcome to CSI Today. I'm Kevin Madrigal.
And I'm Renee Flores. Today's top story, police brutality. But first, authorities are looking to capitalize on social media to aid them in missing child cases.
As of January 13, 2015, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has started posting Amber Alerts on Facebook news feeds. Amber stands for America's Missing Broadcast Emergency Response. And with 185 million Facebook users in America alone, the alerts will be tailored for each user. Each Facebook member will receive an alert about a missing child in their area. Since Amber Alerts are somewhat rare, whenever you might see one, MissingKids.com encourage you to take the time to read it and become aware. Some are skeptical, though, worried that social media may be used irresponsibly and may do more harm than good.
Lately, there have been concerns that the United States is losing its competitive edge in the medical field globally. Studies show that funding for medical research has fallen significantly from 2009 to 2012 at a rate of 0.8% per year. This brought the country's global contribution to medical research down from 57% to 44% in just a matter of a few short years. No one is exactly sure why this decline has occurred. However, there is still hope. With the rise of the disease Ebola, there is a chance that the United States can step up its game, as it already has taken steps to help be sure that the lives of people will not continue to be threatened by this deadly epidemic.
In recent news, a police officer in Florida had his life saved by a teen who was in the process of being booked. While Officer Franklin Folks was booking Jamal Rutledge, he collapsed and Rutledge immediately began to call for help. Sergeant Todd Bunyan overheard the commotion and quickly got to Folks with other cops and were able to save Officer Folks. Rutledge will be commemorated for helping save the officer. At the time, Rutledge was being booked for breaking probation.
And that brings us to our top story of the day, police brutality. Here to give us some perspective on the issue, Isaiah Head.
Within a matter of days, the name Mike Brown rapidly became known nationwide as the video of his untimely death went viral. His story created an uproar on multiple social networking sites, and cases of police brutality became an increasingly troubled issue even our president turned his attention to. Police brutality is more than reblogged pictures on Tumblr or 150-character tweets. It's a problem that is real and is seen in our own city. Romain Brisbane, father of 4, was killed at an apartment complex in northern Phoenix. On that Tuesday evening, Officer Mark Ryan arrived at the location where a drug dealing was suspected to take place. Police said when Ryan approached Brisbane, he headed toward the apartment complex where he was shot after Ryan mistook a bottle of pills in his hand for a gun. His family mourned, pointing out Brisbane wouldn't run from the police considering the short distance from the car to the apartment. However, after a search warrant, large amounts of money was found at the apartment, a weapon in his car, and a bottle of oxycodone in his jacket. After this incident, the media and the police was criticized for releasing mugshots of Brisbane's previous encounters with the law, as it was seen as a way to criminalize Brisbane to justify the shooting. The same response was given to Mike Brown when his story was covered on the news. On Saturday, August 9, 2014, in Ferguson, Missouri, Mike Brown, an 18-year-old male, was shot and killed in an altercation with an officer after robbing a convenience store. The details of this event sparked controversy and raised questions regarding race relations and police brutality. Michael Brown was in fact unarmed during this, and when the fatal shot was fired, he was fleeing from the officer. The shooting of this unarmed teenager led to complete unrest within Ferguson. Peaceful and violent protests consumed the Missouri city. Vandalism and lootings were eventually met with night curfews. The scale of these protests demanded the nation's attention and brought both hurt and fueled the question of whether or not there is profiling and excess force in issue on our hands.
The real question overall, is race the issue? Let's ask our fellow Mavericks.
Police in your community.
The police in the Southbridge community, I think, are very open and accepting and do their best to try to make people feel safe and are people that people can come up and talk to.
Okay. So what do you think about the recent news of police brutality and the Trevor? Has it changed your way of thinking in any way?
It hasn't changed my thinking of the police. However, it's disappointing that a few very bad cops are making it seem like all cops are bad, where I think some people went to the extreme that I do not agree with. However, not all cops are bad. I think the system is inherently racist.
So you think it's part of racism, or?
I do think racism still exists in this country, and however, an eye for an eye doesn't really work with the uprising and the shots of police officers being shot in retaliation. An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. Gandhi.
Thank you for your community.
I feel like they are dirty people
Why?
because they hurt people.
Why do you think it's a cause for them to hurt people?
Well, no, in all seriousness, the cause of police brutality may be on both sides, whether it's the offender or the police officer himself. But I think it takes two to tango. So if one person is acting aggressively towards the other, then there's going to be an altercation.
What do you think about the police in your community?
The police in our community is a big help, and they keep us safe.
Okay. Has the recent news, like with Trevor and the police brutality, has that changed your mind in any way?
It has not changed my mind. The way people are putting the police on the media is not exactly how it goes down. They don't know all the facts around in the background with those stories, so no, it didn't change my mind.
Okay, thank you. Hello, Odie. What do you think about the police in your community?
I think that they are good police, I'm hoping that they're good police and that they know what to do. I'm pretty sure they have to know what to do. And you just hope they don't panic and do mistakes how other cops have done in our country and panic and hurt civilians before even trying to help them.
Okay, what have you seen that are the bad things about the cops?
I don't think that the cops are bad, just that they panic, and I understand because they're in depression, their lives are in danger, but they need to remember what they're trained to do, and I think killing somebody should be their ultimate last resort.
Oh.
So that leaves us with the question, is race the issue? We ask you to consider this today. And also, think before you act.
That's all for today. And remember, Mavericks, always put your pants on one leg at a time. I'm Renee Flores.
And I'm Kevin Madrigal.
And this is Csi Today.
Police brutality? Bullshit? Yes, because it's racial.
What do you think is the cause for police men to act brutality?
It's not right because it's messed up. Because it's messed up and they're just trying to enforce laws, but the way to do it is too violent.
Okay, why do you think it's a reason for do you think it's because they don't racist?
Of course. If you see a black guy, you're gonna be like, oh shit. You probably stole something.
So how do you feel when you're near police?
Gay? What? Wait, what?
How do you feel when you're police?
Near.
I feel like, oh shit!
Research has fallen significantly from 2009 to 2000.
AMBER stands for Missing Broadcast. Oh.
There's still hope. With the rise of the disease Ebola, there's a chance that the United States can step up its game, and it has already, taken steps to help be sure that the lives of people will continue to be threatened, will not be continued to be threatened.